So when the kids arrive, they come in, they put their bag under their name, their parents sign them in, and they go to an activity that has drawn them in, that they feel engaged with.
And it's very much an independent thing. They always are gravitated towards something, and the parents are literally saying, okay, I'm going now. Okay, can I have a kiss? I'm going now.
But, we see that as a really great win with resilience, the fact that they are happy for the parent to just leave and, for them to be independently engaged in an activity. And usually it's a purposeful play activity that we have set out.
To target a specific skill.
Yeah, so usually fine motor or sensory things. So that is how they start. We leave them for that, doing that about 30 minutes, and we float around the room while they're doing that. So encouraging social skills through communication and sharing, collaboration, all those kind of things. They move around between the activities that they want to play with.
We've also noticed that they have developed a lot more stamina within the activities as well. At the beginning of the term, they would probably dart a lot more between them, but now they're actually taking a bit more time, doing things a bit slower, and just really getting a bit more out of the activity.
Yeah, a bit more deeper learning rather than quite superficial and moving along. Yeah. So we do that. Once we've done that, then we usually do our nursery rhyme, talk about the concept of rhyme, go over the song quite a few times. Get the actions. We usually have some picture cues that we put up, sequencing.
Great for sequencing. We do a lot of sequencing with rhyme, with our nursery rhymes. And the kids generally know them as well, so they enjoy being able to sing along. And
we usually will show them a couple of picture prompts, or maybe we might say some key words out of the rhyme and see if they can attach that to a rhyme that they know. Yeah.
And generally they do.
Yeah, which is great. We sing that a few times, and then we sit down, we have our morning tea, usually starving by then. And so we just have our fruit and our water and some vegetables. Everyone just brings their own little lunchbox. And we just have a chat about how our morning's been and what everyone's eating. All
That's always a good
fruits
chat.
And veggies, yeah.
I'm always a little bit jealous of their lunchboxes.
Yes,
so.
They always look much nicer than our quick thrown together
Yeah.
food. After we do that, then we go to our activities again for a few minutes and let them kind of ease into that. And then while they're doing that, we set up our book activity. So we get them to come back to the floor and we sit down and we do our book of the week, so our literature that we're focusing on, and then we do a follow-up activity. So we model that first on the floor, and then we go to our desk. So it's a lot of going to purposeful play activities, coming down, sitting on the floor, moving around for the nursery rhyme, sitting back down on the floor, having a snack, moving around, sitting on the floor.
So they're getting a taste of the best of both worlds. They're having their time to have their free play and whatever they are choosing to play with their purposeful play. But then there are times where they are expected to, okay, now we're sitting on the floor, we're having a chat, and for them to be able to use those skills as well, like concentrating and focus and having their turn to speak when we're on the
even
carpet.
the skill of just sitting
yeah.
On the floor is,
on their bottoms.
Yeah, that's right. So and being aware, spatial awareness of other kids sitting behind them, and that they need to sit on their bottom so that other people can see.
Yeah.
And putting their hand up for sharing ideas rather than everyone kind of yelling out at the same time. So we go over all those kind of things.
We also make sure we actually put a lot of time into choosing our books each week as well. It's not just like a slapdash. We'll do this book this week. We spend a lot of time thinking about what is the purpose that we're getting out of this story.
Yeah.
So each story, each week has a purpose that will link to our follow-up activity, and that's why we think our book is so important in our program, because it is a huge part of our program and leads to sort of the biggest focus of our class for that day.
Absolutely.
As well.
So that brings us to our scrapbook that all of our children have. So when they enroll in our classes, they are given a pack. So it comes with a little clear bag. It comes with a laminated card with their name and numbers, all in Queensland font. And they'll also get a whiteboard marker that they can practice that. So obviously when they're starting out, these are just tracing fine motor kind of activity, but also like letter recognition, that they can start to recognise the first letter of their name and even the other letters in their name. So when they first come in, they look for their name to put their bag. And yeah, it's kind of carrying that skill over as well.
You might have seen a few posts we've done about spelling and letters and things as well. Maybe go back and just check them out, because this isn't our version of getting them to learn how to write their name. We do actually spend a lot of time as well on, recognizing the letters, not so much going into the sounds, but keeping it sort of at their level, but recognizing letters and understanding what the letters are called, rather than just saying, here's your name, trace it and learn what it looks like. So we're teaching them that, this letter is in your name, this is an S, and going through those literacy type skills as well.
So the scrapbook has our follow-up activity from our literature, from our book of the week. So the parents get these at home, get to take these home each week, and so they can see the activity that we have followed up. But also, on top of that, so we'll go through some of the activities that we've done.
But to fit it on the
on the other side, each week is our green summary sheet. So this is kind of like a little, I guess, our trademark thing that we feel this is really important to allow parents to know what we are doing in our classes each week, what skills we are hitting, and how we're doing that. Because obviously when you walk into our room, you're going to just see a lot of play activities that some parents might be like, well, how is this getting them ready for school? All of them are very purposeful. They all have that intention behind them of what we want the children to get out of them. And this sheet really covers that. So we've got pre-literacy skills, pre-numeracy, fine motor, sensory, and then this box down here is just a little note that's unique, individualised to every child that we write in towards the end of the class. So something that they have really improved on that we've noticed. And it could be something as simple as social skills, that they've really done well at sharing today and using their communication skills, using words to show their emotions, their feelings of what they're wanting to do or what thing they're wanting to play with. It could also be resilience, that they separated from the parent really well and they were happy the whole entire class, really confident. It could be fine motor, that they're holding the scissors really well and they're really working on that grasp and release action. So that's that little note there that we do each week on that child, so specific for each book.
Yeah, we feel like feedback is a really important part of our program as well. As Zoe said, you come in and see activities, but being able to see feedback each week and be able to also see that over a term, it's really good to be able to see how they started off and then how they've grown as well throughout the term.
Yeah, and obviously that there's also that more relaxed feedback that you will also get from us when you pick your child up, that they've done really well at this today, and
they really enjoyed this.
But we just sometimes we're not seeing the parent, we're seeing the grandparent or the nanny, and we want to make sure that the parent is also getting an idea of how they're going firsthand. So some of the activities that we've covered this term,
our first week,
so we've got here is our retail. So we
going on a bear hunt.
Yeah.
Which is a favourite.
Yes.
That was a bit of a collage activity.
Some parents had to read that book daily for until the following week.
A long time. Then we did Elma, the elephant. This was all about colours.
And unique individuality and personality.
Dear Zoo. Good old favourite. Looking at
all about size, different size of the animals.
Placing the correct door. This is a good one. This was sorting. So sorting our sometimes food from our everyday healthy food.
That was from The Very Hungry Caterpillar.
Another favourite. This was a very, very good one, as you can see.
Yeah, it's great. We had done the book Brown Bear, What Do You See? And then we made the cutest little puppets on straws, and each of the children chose a different animal, and then we retold the story and they used their puppets. Obviously, Beck and I didn't get time to make a puppet to put in our book, but each of the children ended up getting a photo of them holding the puppet that we stuck in the following week. So they've got their puppet as well, but we thought they're not going to last long with how much they were loving them and wanting to play with them.
Some of them went to bed with them.
Yes.
And took them on road trips to Brisbane.
And some left them on road trips, and then the parents had to go back and collect them. But
did that happen?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So we thought we'd do the photo to longevity. It would be safe in there.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
Yeah, that was also in there, and that was retail as well. This one here is a pre-numeracy skill of number, one-to-one counting, correspondence.
They were very good at identifying 1, 2, and 3, which is really good.
Yeah.
A lot of the activities we have, our purposeful play activities, will involve numbers, so they're always seeing them. They've got them in a loose parts. We play with our Play-Doh, got our magnetic numbers. So they have a lot of exposure to numbers, and then we have a lot of one-on-one, like, oh, what's this number? Or what's your number? Can you see your number? And they're always sort of having that exposure in a play-based environment.
Yes.
So this was actually good to see how well that's all working when they actually are.
And there's also the sorting as well, that they could identify the similarities between each group. So even if they didn't know that these were numbers, they could find that this one has a one line, and the same with the 2s and 3s. So yeah.
Oh, this was a fun one.
Following week we did some positional language, so beside, below, above, behind, and we did our roads, but it was also just very fun, very messy, but very fun.
We were brave this week.
Yes, we introduced paint,
But
it was good, it was successful, so yes, it was very fun. We will do more of that next term, and also some colours there too. And also, you'll notice that some of these are not cut out by the kids. So if the skill that we are targeting is, say, for example, positional language, we don't want to spend the time, because it is very time-consuming cutting at this age. And some of our activities will have a lot of cutting, but some activities we will want to get past that to get to the next skill and rather not focus on just the cutting. So, you know, some activities will have a lot of cutting that they will do, and some we will do for them.
But with this particular activity, one of our classes actually finished this ahead of time, and they actually did have an opportunity to cut out some of the objects in a little bit more finer detail, sort of closer to the object. So it all depends from class to class on the situation and how quickly we get through something.
We have a shell of a plan of what we want for the class, but we very much will take it wherever the kids want to take it. For example, today our class was quite different to our class yesterday at Mermaid Beach. Today at Labrador, we ended up having majority of our purposeful play activity time was painting. You know, all of the kids in the class wanted to do painting, so you know we had the paper out and
all across the tables,
yeah,
and literally painted the entire across the table.
So really cool. You know, they are 3, 4, and 5. We still want them to have that relaxed learning environment, and we want them to feel like they have some ownership to their learning as well. So to really allow for those opportunities. Another week. This week's. We did the book. If you hold a seed, which was very fitting to finish our term off as little sprouts. We potted a little plant with a seed, and the kids actually watched it for the 2 hours just in case it grew.
Yes.
It didn't.
They kept going back. I think it's growing. It was a sunflower. We planted our class sunflower seed, and then the kids actually got a little bag to take home with them with a seed and a little bag of soil and a little cup to plant it in.
And we have already been sent photos of children that have already planted their little seeds. So
like literally about half an hour after the class finished.
I don't think we finished packing up. So this was sequencing. It was the skill that we were targeting through this one.
And they did really well at this, and it was actually a really great conversation as well, because we spoke about things like, what is a seed? And then that came up with conversations like, well, what comes out of a seed? And some people actually said things like caterpillars and things like that. So then we spoke about the difference between a seed and an egg and how those things are different. But really good conversations when we introduce our books of the week.
Yeah.
This was a really nice one.
And then we've got one that's a little bit out of order because we had forgotten to stick it in earlier.
Must have been a crazy week.
Yes, week 8 we focused on our name. So each of the students had their own name on their sheet. We talked about the letter that their name starts with, and then the letters that are in their name, and then they searched for those letters in the boxes below. So a pre-literacy skill there, which was really important, especially for name recognition and also letter awareness.
And just like I said with the numbers, we do the same with letters. So we immerse them with letters in our purposeful play activities. We will have puzzles with letters. We will have letters, magnetic letters. We use a lot of letters for them to use in their play activities. So they're always identifying letters from their name. Oh, this is what my letter starts with in my name. Or this letter's in my name as well. And they sort of piece that together. And it was interesting again to see how many of them were aware with what their letters already looked like in their name and could find them quite easily.
Absolutely.